And Robert. Well, good morning, Andrew. It all actually started with Brian.
Hey, good morning. We're up here a little early today. It's almost 7 o'clock. We're watching the market. Looks like it's going to be open finally. And we're going to talk about some stocks today. One of them we're going to mention about is FUBO and why we added to it on Friday. We have a pretty big position in it as a small investor. And hey, guys, I appreciate you guys stopping to be here. My name is Pat Dees. This is my channel, Money Me. I'm an average regular guy that does investing. Been a businessman. Watch the market every day. Been trading over the last 20 years. Buy and sell stocks, buy and sell options. But I tell you, the market and some of the stocks that we've been in, and this is honest investing, has been brutal the last 2 months. So I'm going to do some screen share. If you guys are interested in signing up for Webull, it doesn't cost you nothing. You can get some free stock. I have a link below. I'd greatly appreciate it. So, but finally, the market is looking up today. Not much, only 94 points. The NASDAQ probably is going to be a little bit stronger because the sell-off has been stronger. Yesterday, Zigna was bought out. Zigna was a strong stock. Zigna was up. I sold it for $9.12 the day before. It was $6. And actually, Zigna was one of the stocks that I got for free from Webull when I signed up last year. So I only had one share.
Thanks, Andrew. When we come back, we're going to talk about a rough start to the year for Bitcoin, down more than 9%. We'll talk to the CEO of a crypto-connected fintech right after this.
This is our collective history.
And full disclosure, I am not a licensed broker. This is for legal reasons, strictly just entertainment. But yeah, Take-Two bought them for basically $11 billion. Take-Two. So I'm hoping that eventually we start seeing some more buyouts with some of these. Tilray was up. You got about four positions that are in an account that are just killing me.
You need to hire.
Now there's where if you would have had options yesterday in Zigna, $6 options were 20 cents. Well, $7 options were up. Let's look at that's next week's options. $6 options were up 1,000% yesterday. $7 options were up 2,500%. Could you imagine just being that fortunate to get in? So. I think there's a lot of uncertainty going on with the market, obviously this year with all the new cases of I don't know, do we still call it Corona or different versions of Omicron or so all kinds of different names and stuff like that. But I think it was reported like 1 million new cases. So, and inflation, this is going to be definitely a year. I don't honestly year up this year. I think there's going to be trading opportunities. But I think this year is going to be a down year. Just because honestly it was so high, and even though a lot of stocks that I'm talking about have corrected,
is only one pill once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks.
So let's pull up FUBO. I'm going to put CNBC in the background.
Which may flare up and could cause
Let's
serious
put
liver
FUBO.
problems during and after treatment.
Oh, I'm using StreamYard. I tried to use YouTube. What's that? YouTube slides. I don't even know what that was. I'm on StreamYard if you guys are ever interested in broadcasting or doing a YouTube channel.
Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
In the palm of your hand. Join the community.
And you can't multi-share a screen, so let me
building a better
Let me
portfolio
share
of
my
FUBO
screen
today.
as far as what I'm looking at as in FUBO.
It's been a rough week for crypto, as you probably know. Bitcoin down more than 9%, and it's even worse for Ethereum, down more than 18%. Joining us now, Flory Marquez.
I mean, look at FUBO back on
Operations at BlockFi, and BlockFi is a fintech with a suite of financial tools.
Friday. What's today? Today's the 11th. So on the 7th, yeah, on the 7th, we added some options that expire in 2 weeks, and we added the stock. We just, I mean, it's had great news. And full disclosure, I mean, in one retirement account that I managed, we bought in around $28. I mean, it was 35. I mean, I know price doesn't matter as far as, but they've had great news. The market cap is not. And in case you guys are wondering, this is the Webull desktop app that I'm using to look at this. But let's look at the news. Yeah.
So this 40K
they hit great news. FUBO TV posted early Q4 figures above guidance, and the shares still dropped.
And 42%. So Bitcoin is definitely a volatile asset. But as we look forward to 2022, there are two key things that I'm really excited for this year. In 2021, we saw a record amount of VC funding go into the crypto space. We saw around 30 billion go into crypto, and that's a 450%.
I mean, people were back buying the beginning of the year. People were buying the 25 calls, and now the stock is down. The stock is down. Let me pull up. And right now, the Nasdaq is looks like it's going to be up 80 points, 0.5%. The S&P is going to be up 17.5 points, almost 0.5%, and 0.25% is the Dow. So the Dow is only looking to be up, not as much, but.
So overall, it is a volatile start to the year. It's definitely something that crypto investors are used to.
FUBO's market cap is 1.96 billion. It's down this year so far 12.63%, but it's off about 55-60% since November's high.
You think that goes from a negative overhang to resolving itself in a positive way eventually this year?
Absolutely. So
I'm looking at right now.
Regulators, but
no one has even rated. I'm looking at CNBC right now. Let's look at analyst over here. Yeah, I mean, they got targets at 28, 38, 50, and 53. Right now, 70% of the analysts rated to buy. It doesn't matter in this market. Anybody that was short, man, if they haven't covered yet, they've made some great money.
And with that clarity comes a sense of trust and safety. And I do think that
I wonder if eventually someone, just because of the revenue they generate, will just buy them out.
Move into the space from an employment standpoint or move into the space from an investment perspective. And they've been waiting for this regulatory clarity to come about. So if we do get clarity from regulators in the beginning of this year, I do think that will allow the entire.
I mean, even the Roth Capital maintains a buy. They lowered the price from 45 to 28, but you're talking about 120% up from that. Our average cost right now is roughly 22.
3 steps forward, 2 steps back every year for crypto. The reason I bring it up, the Fed is probably headed the other way at some point. We know that, and that's the popularity of crypto as being a currency that won't be debased is obviously a big part of it. Plus, just the general speculation.
If you guys want to comment below what stocks you're following, great. You can see here some of the ones I'm following. Zigna, obviously they got bought out. FUBO, Kern, and Kern was my worst investment last year. If you guys watched the video that I have, it was down 70-some%. Tesla, I follow. Tesla, I made a couple bucks last week on options.
deflationary asset, so there's a limited amount of.
Hey, Adam. Good morning. Thanks for stopping. I appreciate it. Not sure if you watch the market or not, but just I have CNBC on in the background.
What you said, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back.
But it's been brutal as far as, I mean, look at Chewy here, $80.58. I mean, the market has been correcting since the first week of November. I mean, when it started dropping, I mean, just in November alone, Chewy was 81, now 50. And if you go back and look at the 96, go back and look at the peak last year, 120. Baba, I wouldn't invest in any Chinese stocks. I just don't trust the Chinese. I think that without having really any oversight or corporate governance to watch what stocks are doing and things like that, they can just, what are you going to do? You're gonna sue them, and where's that going to? It's a communist country. Facebook, I had Facebook puts on Friday that I was in the money for probably about 20 minutes, and I lost about $250. And son of a gun, yesterday that $250 would have been worth about $1,500 had I just went out a week more. Of course, when I bought them, they were $1.56, and then I bought some more at like 60, so I had like $210 into it actually, and for a brief moment there, I was up about $140, and it just never. But yesterday, you could have made. They would have been, though, the ones I bought for at $1.56 were $5 on Friday, and they expired this week. So I didn't want to risk $500. I only want to risk basically $200 on 2 contracts because I averaged down. But now, looking at that candle, it went down, so we could get a couple days of some up buying, but there's going to be a lot of back and forth, I think, this year. If you're doing mutual fund buying, and your 401k, you'll be fine. But like I said, my prediction is I think the market's going to be down for sure this year when all things are all said and done. If we look back at let's go back, January. Let's go back. I mean, the NASDAQ had a nice run. I mean, look back here. Let's go back. 350, roughly 315 on the QQQs, and they're still at 380. Yeah, I think we'll probably be down roughly 15% this year in the big markets. That's my prediction. The Dow. Let's see where the Dow. 53, 55. Yeah, we're not far. Oh, 10% away from basically. Oh no, that's Dow. Let me see. Hold on. It's Dow Chemical. Sorry about that, guys. But the Dow, it's just rough, and this is rough numbers, guys. The Dow, 306, 360. Yeah, 10%. Honestly, just to go back to where the year started last year and give up all last year's gains, we still have roughly a 17-18% drop. And I think eventually, because and we could get a lot of sideways action over the summer and stuff like that. But there's definitely going to be opportunities to make on the short side, and but it's been brutal. I think this is the time to stay a little conservative. Don't get too crazy. Look at even the 701 on Netflix, now 527. Let's pull up a weekly chart. That's what I like about this one. You could go back. Yeah. But the market took off last year.
Good morning, and welcome back to Stock Bites right here on
Let's pull up CNBC again.
And Joe Kernan has returned to us. Take a look at U.S. equity futures at this hour. Still 2.5 hours before the market set to open, but this is where we stand. Dow up about 80 points. NASDAQ looking to open up about 78 points higher, and the S&P 500 looking to open higher as well, about 16 points higher, Joe. Yep, let's get to Dom. Dom Chu is watching these pre-market movers, individual names. Dom, good morning.
Good morning, Joe, and welcome back as well. If you take a look at some of the movement that we're seeing right now, a lot of these analyst commentaries that are coming out about their best ideas, some of the kind of themes that they're seeing early on in 2022 are still kind of reverberating. We focus a lot on EVs because there's a lot of search interest in not just on our website, but just in the industry in general. Tesla, of course, is the industry leader. This morning, it's getting some help, up about 1% right now, $1,069 per share. It's getting some help in part from analysts over at Morgan Stanley, led by Adam Jonas, noted autos analyst over there, who basically keeps his overweight rating on the stock that has now increased their target.
If you guys watched, I did a video on Tesla where basically I named it as the stock of the year last year. Amazing. Start of 2021 last year. Let's look. Let me zoom in on my chart over here that I have pulled up on a separate screen.
We saw that kind of blew away analyst expectations is really going to help drive some of that performance going forward. So Tesla shares up about 1%.
Approximately started the year around
what's happening with the biggest pre-market mover,
650-ish,
driven by analyst actions,
and now it's 1,058. But it was, hey, it was up 1,200.
As much as 3 to 4% early on thinner trading. Bank of America is double upgrading this stock from an underperform rating all the way up to a buy. The target price goes to $40 from $22. They think that some more increased spending from service providers for computer networking companies will help this particular company, Juniper Networks. They think that management guidance on the revenue growth is a little conservative, so they're double upgrading that.
I do appreciate anyone that's watching this on the replay. I am live as far as going. No, most people aren't used to me streaming at 7 o'clock in the morning. I had to do some work, and I have some errands to run today, so I wanted to make this about FUBO. So I do appreciate everyone that is tuning in or catching me on the replay.
Important because what it did do is take out those September lows. It seems to have found some support there for the time being, but at that level 39,750, you've got to go all the way back to the first week of August for the lows at that point too. So it's certainly something that we're watching here on the Bitcoin side of things.
Just had a long discussion about that. We shall see. We shall see what we shall see. It's funny, Tom, how quickly sentiment can change with Bitcoin. And 65, it's like, oh, it was this at 38. Why did I buy it at 38? And then at 38, it's turns under 40. Where is this headed? Who steps in and buys there? I guess the real long-term believers.
People ask me to talk about Bitcoin, and I'm just not I don't get it.
Maybe that's good.
I've invested $20 into it one time, and I think I sold it at 28, but then I paid the fees and then got into the. But obviously, people made money. I mean, you can't discount that. I mean, Bitcoin. You hear stories of people become, but what is it? I mean, it has no backing. It has no. Let's go back 5 years on a Bitcoin. I mean, even back in 2019, at one time when I had gotten into it was around 8,000, and I got out at like 16,000 or 12,000, something like that. And but again, like the market last year, it just really took off crazy. Going back, I'm looking at a chart here. I mean, going back, you could have bought it in January of 2017 for $800. $800 into 42,000 right now, obviously is a good return. But its peak, 64,400, November 12th. A lot of assets have peaked, I feel, in the short term. Now, when I say short term, I don't mean in a month. I really feel that some of these things, I don't know. And again, everything is opinion. I'm not a licensed broker. I'm not a licensed agent for Bitcoin stocks or anything. But 64,400, 40. you're always gonna have that pressure of people that buy it and are losing money, want to get out, or they get back to break even, and there's that pressure of selling it. But I mean, last year it was down to. I mean, think about that. In July, it was down to 32,000, and from July to November, it doubled 100% in Bitcoin. I like owning stock. I like owning a company that I can walk into Home Depot. I can tell you what they do.
Federal Reserve Chairman
I'm
Joe
not
Powell's
a fan of
taking place today.
Bitcoin.
Elon Lloyd joins us with more. And Elon, he's done what a lot of people thought was the tough work with messaging the markets with what his plan is.
If you go on Google, it says people also ask, is Bitcoin really a coin? Bitcoin is a digital currency which operates free of any central control or the oversight of banks or governments. In much the same way you would keep traditional coins in a physical wallet, virtual currencies are held in digital wallets and can be accessed from client software or a range of online and hardware tools. You can't walk into McDonald's or your stores yet and use Bitcoin to buy groceries and stuff like that. And I don't really ever seen that happening at a big level, because our Fed and the governments aren't involved in it. I don't like anything too that I feel that someone could hack. I mean, I mean, sometimes I hear talk about them talking about digital currency across the board. I think old fashioned. A lot of people, myself, still like to have some cash, still like to have coins and real something that we can, currency and money goes back a long time.
And he spent almost as much time talking about the Fed's mission and its responsibility to Congress.
It's bad enough now that the poor people that get hacked into and get scammed, using those green dot cards. And
he's going to be leaving this Friday, which is a few weeks earlier than he was expected to, because of all those controversial issues around trades that he made back in February of 2020. Originally, we knew about the move to buy market securities right before the Fed made its big move into things. What we didn't know before was that he sold just a few days before that, which raised some questions about whether or not this was really planned in advance and just average rebalancing that was taking place. Jen Psaki really kind of nodding to that with these comments. But what about Congress? I mean, Congress is still in a position where they can trade securities. Nobody's kind of raised questions about it. Not that that's necessarily going to stop them from shooting things at Jake Layton today.
Yeah, so a couple things, Becky. First of all, we don't know that's why Clarida. Yeah, we don't.
I don't know if you guys are.
We don't know if that's why Clarida is leaving to.
Man, watching the news, and I know this ain't stock related, but Bob Saget, and I was young when he was on Fuller House. Well, I mean, he's 16, 17 years older than me, but
so let's just make that clear. But to your point about
I always liked him on America's Funniest Videos, but he was found in his Orlando, and I'm just looking at the news, and there's no signs of foul play, so that's kind of sad. 65 and just coming back out on the road.
Take the House in November. There are Democrats who feel the same way. They've been pushing for stronger limitations on either how Congress trades stocks or how the disclosures around that trading occurs. So there's a possibility you could see action around Congress's financial.
Betty White passed away the last day
we shall see.
of last year. She was going to be 100 on January 17th, like a week from now.
Finishing in the green. We're going to talk about the tech turnaround and much more right after this. Squawk Box will be right back.
I think you're going to like it here.
Why is everyone...
So anything, Sammy? Look, as CFO, it's my job to be ready for whatever's next. That's why I have my finance team randomly throw things at me. It's also why we use Workday. It gives us insight, so we quickly pivot our strategy, people...
I wish there was a way. I got to figure it out. How when I go live, if I want to stream just the ticker symbol, because obviously, but this channel's not monetized yet. But
the finance, HR, and
obviously, there's a commercial playing because I got CNBC streaming in the background, and I think as long as I'm over talk, there's not much. I've seen it done by some other big YouTubers that
kindness, honesty, and hard work.
Over time, I've come to add the fourth: be curious.
Some other
Be
big
curious about the world
ones I
around us,
follow is
and then
Financial
go.
Education. Jeremy,
Go with an
actually,
open
meet
heart,
Kevin
and
is
you'll
the
find
guy. He's
inspiration
from
in
California that sometimes will stream
Viking,
CNBC and stuff in the background when he's going live.
Coming down the hill and to the line. The Kayla Schifrin wins gold.
When you've won, it's too big of a moment.
It's a nice, clean.
To really be able to understand it
I
and
use Sling
comprehend it.
TV to get CNBC because I don't have local cable. And one of the main reasons I get Sling TV is just because I want to be able to watch CNBC. I haven't really been watching the market that much lately. I mean, I look at it on my phone, but it's just been so damn ugly that
I put off treating mine.
I couldn't worry about it.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your.
Let's see if there's any FUBO stock news today at all.
I know for years.
It's only implied up 12 cents.
98% overall cure rate.
I mean, they boosted revenues.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV.
The chart is bearish, which I don't like.
Including herbal supplements.
Yahoo has it as a.
May cause a serious slowing of your heart.
Let me share that.
Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of.
Did we lose the feed?
Adjust for
Nope.
you in real time for a more efficient workout.
They have a target of $40.63
on Tonal.
Welcome back to Squawk Box. Our next guest says the tech and biotech stocks just got a whole lot more attractive. Joining us right now, Talk Markets is Anastasia Amoroso, Chief Investment Strategist at iCapital. Good morning to you. You bet tech stocks have become more, I don't know if they're more attractive, but boy, are they lower. So here we are. The question is, are they going higher or are they going to continue to go lower?
Well, Andrew, good morning to you. And I do think they're a whole lot more attractive because we've seen a big chunk of this correction play out over the last couple of months. So just a few numbers around it. The average software stock is now probably down closer to 30 or 40%.
Oh, I like that new feature.
Is in a bear market territory. It has that 20% correction.
I can go on the bottom. That's in StreamYard. I didn't see that before.
Software multiple, for example, if you look at EV,
I wonder, can I move that around?
12-month sales.
No.
That was at 17 times just a few months ago. Now it's at 10 times. So we're not quite to pre-pandemic levels.
Oh, so that's a new StreamYard feature. If you do a screen share, I can be in the lower left corner there. I like that. Let me put. I can take myself out and just do full screen. Full screen. Bigger.
One of the things that we look at is hedge fund positioning and what they're doing, and they've been very heavily selling technology over the last number of weeks. So, in
case you guys are watching, wondering how I'm doing this is actually StreamYard.
Technology, and I think that's true for other investors as well. And then I have to step back and say, did fundamentally something change about technology? And the answer for a lot of these software companies is no. If I look at software spend for this year rather, is going to grow at twice the pace as the overall IT spending. Going to grow at 11-12% versus 5.5% projected for the global IT spending. If I look within that further, cybersecurity, same thing. Things like data privacy spending and things like cloud spending is really having stellar fundamentals. So the fundamentals have not changed. What has changed is the multiples, and they've corrected for what I call a hyperactive Fed that we're likely to have this year. So as a result of that, I think a lot more attractive.
Anastasia, you're not alone. Goldman Sachs overnight, David Kostin, saying that he believes that tech right now, the disconnect is what he's calling the single greatest mispricing in U.S. stocks at this moment. The question, though, for the investors that are watching us right now is how to play that. Clearly, I imagine you would tell folks to buy an index, but the question is, should you be doing it on an index basis or you should be doing it on an individual stock level basis?
You know, Andrew, it's interesting. If you asked me a week ago, I probably would have told you that you have to be very gradual, very selective, but we've had this massive week down in software. And I do think it may make sense to buy an ETF, to buy an index on software names. But I still like to be a little bit more granular than that. And I would zone into a particular area of strength in technology and software spending, which again is cybersecurity. That is top of mind for everybody. And sure, you have some names that are still trading at 30, 40 times forward sales. You probably can guess what they are. And by the way, they're still growing revenues at 30, 40%. So that's still impressive. But you have this sweet spot, especially within cybersecurity, where a lot of these names are starting to trade at 9 or 10 times forward sales, and they're growing revenues at 22, 25%. So I think that's what I would really do is maybe you buy some index, maybe you buy some QQQs, but at the same time, I would construct a shopping list here of some of the names that are reasonably priced, but the revenue growth is outpacing the S&P. And by the way, a lot of tech commentators are really zoning in on differentiation between, speculative software, speculative tech versus.
Guys, I'm going to step away a second. I'll be right back.
And you have great visibility of revenues, and that's what I would focus on here.
Anastasia, I want to thank you for your analysis as always. It's an interesting trade. We will see whether it's a long-term trade, short-term trade, or something else, and I'm sure we'll talk to you about it very, very soon.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, coming up, GameStop's plan to break into the NFT, no vowels there. The NFT market, will it work? Frank Holland is following the progress and joins us with an update. Then later, Chamber of Commerce CEO Suzanne Clark is going to join us to discuss how businesses are navigating the pandemic, labor issues, and inflation. Stockpot's coming right back.
At EY Parthenon, we help companies grow.
Asset-light strategy is no longer a defensive tactic for underperforming companies. It is a strategy used to drive growth and increase flexibility.
And design and deliver strategies for the real world.
CEOs can start the asset-light journey by asking themselves, how agile is our company?
Get more at cnbc.com/EY Parthenon strategy.
Who would have thought printing could lead to growing trees?
Selling a home is expensive and stressful, so we set out to create a better home selling experience with a network of the most successful real estate agents in America that'll sell your home for as little as a 2% commission.
The icing on the cake with the Ideal Agent was that we saved $12,000 in commission.
We would definitely use Ideal Agent again. The whole process was so positive for us.
Excellent service. Getting right to the point, hiring Ideal Agent. I wish we would have done that sooner, and we would have saved 6 months of time and mortgage payments that would have probably never happened if we would have just gone with them first.
They were so stress-free. The whole process was amazing, and I would definitely recommend them.
We certainly recommend Ideal Agent now to all of our family, all of our friends. It's just a great experience.
We are not a discount brokerage. These are top local agents that'll get you the best results.
Wow, we're crunching tons of polygons here.
What's going on? Where's Regina?
Hi, I'm LaDonna. I invest in Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives me access to NASDAQ 100 innovations like real-time CGI.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry, I got it.
Become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ. Before investing, definitely read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
When Chewy co-founder Ryan Cohen joined GameStop's board as chairman, his goal was to transform the brick-and-mortar video game retailer into the Amazon of gaming. Frank Holland joins us right now with more on the company's plans and how things are working out so far. Frank, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Becky. Well, GameStop shares are up 500% over the last year, but they've lost more than 25% since it was announced that Ryan Cohen was nominated to be the board chair of GameStop.
Wall Street bets and retail traders, they've really rallied around Cohen's so-called transformation strategy to turn GameStop into an online retailer, and as you mentioned, the quote-unquote Amazon of gaming. However, many analysts have noted the actual market for physical copies of games, GameStop's core business, has shrunk dramatically from 97% of the market in 2013 to now only about 45% of the market. GameStop now plans to open up an NFT marketplace focused on gaming, including characters, outfits, and weapons. NFT trading hit $23 billion last year. But Wedbush analyst Michael Pachter says there's one crucial detail that still needs to be worked out.
I predicted a couple of years ago, I thought GameStop stock, actually the company, would go out of business and be bankrupt.
Digital sale is a use license, limited use license. You can't resell a digital copy. So why would anybody assume that NFTs created by game companies are going to be freely transferable? No chance.
The Chewy co-founder bringing in executives from the online pet retailer and from Amazon itself to execute the plan that has been relatively light on details, at least until last week. Shares are down.
This is the craziness of the market that people have invested in.
Today, GameStop shares are up about 1%, along with some of the other most talked about names on the Wall Street Bet site on the anniversary of the Reddit rebellion. Becky, back over to you.
Yeah, Frank, in fact, on the anniversary of the Reddit rebellion, have we seen any signs that this could all ramp right back up again? Where are retail investors today, and what have we seen to this point?
Well, I was just skimming around Wall Street Bets, not that much chatter there. And then you look at the volume of some of the most known quote-unquote meme stocks. Well, yesterday, they weren't really that high. GameStop was 187% of its 30-day moving average, but not really those big outsized moves that you see when retail investors are piling into the stock.
Frank, thank you very much. It's good to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Okay. Coming up right after the break, we're going to take a look at some of this morning's big headlines, and there are a bunch. Squawk Box returns with that and so much more. Coming right back after this.
Humans, we love to.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. If you get a chance, comment below, and I'll be doing more videos. So I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
And with that change came choice.